Oh, that's a setting I don't want. Whoa. What if I do the video like this? Oh boy. I'm tripping out. So, Marvel's Spider-Man recently got a release on PC, which I honestly thought I would never see because it's one of their biggest system sellers. And that kind of got me thinking about what else should go on PC. We've got stuff like God of War, we've got stuff like Horizon, Spider-Man now, Days Gone. There's probably others that I can't think of off the top of my head. Oh, Uncharted is meant to be there eventually at some point. That's gotten like massive delays. It's really weird. And as well as those, we've also got an announcement that The Last of Us Part 1 will be coming to PC, which I imagine The Last of Us Part 2 will eventually come to PC. We've got Returnal, which is rumored. Nah, nothing else. Nothing else I've got listed. My list is not that extensive, but that kind of got me thinking about what other stuff Sony should consider porting to PC. I kind of wanted to go through just some like random Sony exclusives and just this definitely isn't a comprehensive list by any means, but just some stuff that I think would do kind of well on PC, considering that there's a lot of PS4 and PS5 exclusives being ported to PC. I think it would be good for them to look back on their older stuff. I often talk about Sony's back catalogue for some strange reason, I guess because I'm a fanboy and nostalgic, and my nostalgia blinds me all the time. But yeah, just wanted to go through and just talk real quickly about just some random games that I think would benefit from a PC port. First one I've got listed here is Echochrome. Echochrome, for anyone who is probably too young to remember, came out in 2008, 2007-ish. It was a PS3, PSP game. Kind of a puzzle game, messed with orientation a lot. I think it would kind of be fun to port it to PC. Put in like a level editor into it. I think it could be like a fun little indie game that Sony could mess around with. Although the studio that made it, Japan Studio, they're not around anymore because Sony got rid of them for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, I think that an indie game like that would do quite well on PC, assuming that it was ported well. The controls for that game, from what I remember, would lend itself well to mouse and keyboard because it messes with perspective a lot. And I think it would just be a fun little indie title you could stick on PC. I think it kind of would get like, I don't think it would get amazing purchase numbers, but I think it would. I think it would do better than they'd expect. Okay, I'm gonna lump these two in together because I put these on here for the same reason and similar reason to why I have Echochrome on here. And the two that I got, because they're from the same developer, are Little Big Planet and Dreams. So, Little Big Planet, I think, would benefit from the fact that it is a fun little platformer that's real cute, and I think people would enjoy it. But I think ultimately both Little Big Planet and Dreams would benefit massively from being on PC because of the level editors that these games have. You have stuff on Steam like Tabletop Simulator that benefits massively from the Steam Workshop. I think that if you were to have something like Little Big Planet and Dreams, I think you would get such a massive user base behind that just on the process of the level editors alone. Some of the stuff made in Dreams was amazing from what I remember at the time when it came out. Like just making full remakes of games just in Dreams itself. I think it would be such a fantastic tool to throw on Steam in order to just get like user generated content forever. You could have so many meme levels that people would enjoy. I think it would be great. So yeah, Little Big Planet and Dreams. That's just go for it. Do it. The next one I have is my settings just changed. Why did that do that? Come on, just focus on me. I gotta get better software here, man. Come on, what are you doing? Screw it, just gonna roll with it. Next one I got is the Killzone series. You know, the Halo killer. Look, Killzone was a big system seller back in the day, and I think I've brought it up before in some capacity. Killzone's got a distinct vibe to it in terms of the way that you play it. Like, it's very much a very heavy feeling FPS. And I think putting an FPS on PC is just such a no-brainer. And the Killzone IP is pretty much dead anyway at the moment because Guerrilla Games are working on Horizon all the time. I mean, the IP for Killzone is basically dead in the water at the moment. I think this would be a good way to revive it and to possibly have Sony's own PC exclusive IP, possibly, or maybe an IP that's both PC and PlayStation. But yeah, I think that it's another option. When they're so focused on PC games at the moment, maybe they develop a PC exclusive game. Maybe Killzone could go to PC and invigorate that audience for them. It's an option, considering that they let the website rights expire, or there was something with the website that expired last year or the year before. They don't care about Killzone at the moment, so why not let the property make them a little extra money, port up the main 3-4 games, port the PSP games, put them on PC, and just see what happens. Even put the first one on PC and go from there. Next one I have, which is also a first-person shooter, the Resistance games. I think I've only played the first 2 Resistance games. I don't think I've played the third one yet. I really want to replay them. Resistance is a first-person shooter made by Insomniac, same people who make Ratchet and Clank. It's got lots of fun guns in it from what I remember. Lots of interesting guns. You have one that can shoot through walls. There's other guns probably. Especially when they have just ported an Insomniac game, and I know it's not necessarily Insomniac doing the porting, they probably get another company to do that, but I think it would be good. Same thing with Killzone, where it's not an IP that's making them money at the moment, so why not throw it on PC? Maybe it could become a PC focused IP, or reinvigorate their first person shooters that they have. Like, Sony don't have a lot of first person shooters, as opposed to, say, Xbox, which has Halo and Gears of War. Those are the first 2 that you think of with Xbox. They don't have anything that's solely first-person focused, and I think that porting stuff to PC might be their opportunity to revive some of those IPs and to maybe develop a bit of a groundswell in those IPs. Similar to Killzone, I think that putting... What, I have the freaking Navi just float through the screen there? What the hell was that? Similar to Killzone, I think that putting their first-person shooters on PC would help to reinvigorate those properties and may help them develop PC-exclusive properties, potentially. Just potentially. Or even develop on PC first and then just port it to console. Whatever works, but yeah, I just think it's an option for these IPs that are definitely dead at this stage. Next up on the list is Socom. Socom is a tactical shooter. I think that this would highly appeal to the Arma type community and some of the Call of Duty people possibly. From what I remember, Socom 2 was very in-depth and tactical, and even had it had a feature built in. I remember this because I remember my brother playing it. It had a feature where you could use the PlayStation microphone and be like, team, move to whiskey and radio silence or whatever, and you could order them around. I think that they could easily just port it and have the same features. I think it'd be interesting. I mean, tactical shooters would benefit a lot better on PC. I think Socom 2 was even a first-person shooter, possibly. All these dead IPs, I mean, they're not making them any money at the moment, but I think some of them are old enough that the port shouldn't take too much, or it shouldn't be too CPU intensive. I would hope that it wouldn't take too long and wouldn't be too expensive. The next game I have here is Gravity Rush. I don't have a specific reason for this game other than it looks like a fun game that I have yet to play, and I think that game deserves another chance. That's all I got on that one. I haven't even played the games yet, but they look really fun, and I think I think it would be fun to throw it up there. I got nothing else. Okay, another one I have here is Wild Arms. If you log into Steam, chances are you're going to be inundated with weird RPG games. You got all the Final Fantasy games there. You've got any number of something of mana. You've got Tales of Zestria. You've got so many RPGs and JRPGs on Steam. What's one more? Just throw it on there. You can play it on PS5 and PS4 now because of the weird tier system. It's a bit of an odd one, again, because I haven't played it, but I think there's definitely a community for RPGs and JRPGs on PC that putting Wild Arms on there would 100%, it would definitely find its audience. Although, what do I know? I could be wrong on everything. I've got one more, well, technically two more, but I also have some honorary mentions. And the honorary mentions are the PS2 classic games, Sly Cooper, Ratchet & Clank, and Jak and Daxter. And the only reason that I mention these is because Jak and Daxter currently has a PC port that is being developed by someone online. I do not know their name off the top of my head, but seriously, go and look up the Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy port, PC port, because it's really good for what I've seen of it. Like, it looks so clean and so good. I think these older PS2 games have such a distinct art style to them that I think if you ported them to PC, I think they would get modded very quickly to look really good. They're such classic legacy games that they could live on PC forever. Like, they will 100% be just constant purchases from here to the end of eternity, because they're just that influential on like platformers from that generation. In the same way of your Link to the Past or your Ocarina of Time, not maybe as highly well regarded, but they're absolutely still worth playing even to this day. And I think they would just sell a lot on PC if you got good ports of them. But they didn't really get good ports on PS3, so what do I know? Okay, so most of what I've went through is kind of older IPs or IPs that have somewhat died. The last 1/2 that I got here are like surefire hits, like just absolute they'd slap the cock off Sony if they ported them. Bloodborne and Demon's Souls. I'm not a Soulsborne guy, but I can recognize how many people want them. How many people want a 60 FPS patch for PS5, and B, just a port to PC so that, it can be modded, or people can just do those weird runs where someone finishes one of the games playing it on only bananas or only on the Donkey Kong bongo drums or on other monkey themed controller based things. Just do it. It's an excuse to print money. Come on. Like, everything else that I've mentioned on this list is all stuff that Sony directly owns and has control over. And Bloodborne would be owned by FromSoft. FromSoft? Yeah, FromSoft. I keep on confusing their name. But just, like, they threw money at them to get Demon's Souls remade by Bluepoint Games, which they own. I don't see why they couldn't enlist Bluepoint Games to help out with a Bloodborne port, or get one of their other, like, just go to FromSoft and say, hey, can we have the source code? We'll pay you and we'll port this to PC under the Sony PlayStation publishing company, whatever. And they'd be like, yeah, cool, thanks, money, woohoo. They have a massive stake in FromSoft anyway, so yeah, it's a no-brainer. Just do it. You get so much money. Yeah, that's my very hastily thrown together list. Just kind of thinking back, because I really like some of these IPs and some of them I haven't even played, so just stuff that I think would work. I think it would all find its own audience in its own way on PC. Some audiences would be bigger than others, but yeah, that's all I got. If you enjoyed the video, thank you very much for watching through my really random list here. And yeah, I like to do stuff like this. Please check out some of my other videos. And yeah, subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. I stream sometimes. Check out my other channel. I have other social stuff that is down in the description. Take a look at that, please. And yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day. See ya.